I've gone from playing for fun and playing for enjoying it to now sitting here and calling it my job.
Growing up, I didn't have any female role models. When the time came for me to play or be called upon, I was ready.
There's plenty of coaches that you can go to for whatever you want to find out.
I was you sitting there, and one day you can be me talking to the youngsters.
When I get to see my impact on young girls and see how excited they get, it's a really cool thing for me to kind of see come full circle.
With the future of women's football continuing to grow both on and off the pitch, we now look more closely at exactly what is required to produce the best talent of the future, alongside continuing to develop the current first team. We also hear about the importance of players considering their career after football, either inside or outside of the beautiful game.
The talent that we're seeing coming through is incredible. You know, development of young girls, we have to try and think about where the game's going to be in 5 years' time. So we're not developing a 14-year-old player thinking about what she needs now. We're trying to think about what she may need when she hits first team level at 18, 19.
I'm excited to see the next batch of players that are coming through from our centre of excellence. So for me, this club can take this game as far as it wants to go, and I'm so proud that we're right at the forefront of it.
Ultimately, it's about, you know, it's something where we want to be pioneering. How can we be pioneering in the research and how we develop young girls into professional athletes? What are the barriers that they have? What are the challenges?
Research and development is a really important part of performance services at any club, and we've just started a unique study with Gatorade and a local university to research female physiology, the specific impact of female physiology on performance and on recovery.
We'll continue developing for our senior team to be able to be competitive in every competition that we play in, because our ambition is no different to our men's team or any teams within the group. We want to win. We want to create a movement. We want to create a movement that really inspires people to come and either watch the women's game or be a part of it in another way.
Now you've got young girls that are age 5, 6, even younger. They're literally dreaming of being your next Steph Houghton or things like that. So I think for me that's so exciting. And when I see the little kids with your name on the back of the shirts, like, that's something I'd have dreamed of. I always had a male player on the back of my shirt, whereas I think if I was probably in this generation, for sure I'd be having Lucy on the back of my shirt or someone like that. So I think that's so exciting.
I think it's great for young girls to look up to female soccer players and know that they could do that someday. So I definitely take that as a responsibility, and it's something that is really important to me to make sure I'm a good role model.
The more content we show, the more stories we tell, the more it becomes normal. And then you can inspire the next generation to believe that it is possible.
So together, City and Manchester City are helping increase the visibility of women's football. We're improving the portrayal of women in sport, and perhaps most importantly, we're proving to a generation of aspiring female football players that they too can be the elite professional athletes of tomorrow.
To always be that role model and to hold myself as professional as I can be. Hopefully, it's nice to see the little girls when they're coming into training and you ask them how they're doing and what they've learned today. So hopefully we can have an impact on them and their future at this football club.
There's people at the moment I'm looking up to, like in my team, and it's crazy to think that in years to come there'll be people like looking up to the likes of me, Esme Morgan, Jess Park, the younger people in the squad, and like it's nice to know that we'll be in that position where we're sort of influencing the younger generation, and it's important that we sort of are role models for the people looking up in the game.
What's interesting is that beyond being good football players, they do understand they have a duty to grow the game, they have a duty to inspire the next generation. And even though they get the duty or not, it is actually happening, right? So more and more girls who actually like football but were not feeling it was the right thing to do for a girl are now seeing professional football players playing the game.
It is exciting to know that sort of people are relying on you to help the growth of the game and help improve, and it's what will strive them to sort of become a professional.
Developing people as much as developing players is what we're about. Steph is a captain, you know what some of those skills that she has is very. You can take that off the pitch and put it into any boardroom, and she'd still have those leadership skills.
I'm around amazing people. I'm around great coaches that try and have developed me so much in terms of not only the position that I've played, but my leadership skills as well. Of course, you talk about people and off the pitch, and I'm fortunate enough to work with so many great people that really care not just about me as a footballer, but me as a human being.
You know, some of our players may want to stay within the sport, some may not.
So you know that you've got to have another career after football. So I've been talking to Lauren Hemp recently, and she's been coming and helping us on my soccer camps, and she's probably thinking I'm only 20, 21, and I'm telling her to think about, I'm like, start doing your coaching now, because in the future you can kind of have your own soccer school and stuff like that. And to be fair to her, she's went and done a coaching degree, and she's got her head down, and it would be easy for young players to be like, I don't have to think of that because I've got another 10, 15 years playing.
I'd love to get into coaching after I finish playing football. It's something that like really takes an interest in me, because I've been in football for so long. It's something that I want to continue to do. So yeah, it is exciting to know that there are these pathways, and I've seen other people doing it.
There's the other performance areas as well, you know, like sports science, even physio, medical. There are players that I know that are interested in the sports science world. So again, can we educate them and give them qualifications in that area that doesn't hamper them playing football, but it sets themselves up for when they stop playing.
The bigger that women's football gets, the more opportunities there will be to work around the game, and especially being in a place like this where everybody's really passionate about football, I think it's awesome to know that we're providing jobs and hopefully just growing the whole sport so that the community can stay really involved, and again, just provide opportunities for whoever wants to be involved.
People like KB going into directorship and Jill going into coaching. As well, I think there's opportunities for females in other areas of football, not just on the pitch, but in terms of the backroom staff and everything. There's so many opportunities within the game for people to look towards and aspire to be a part of. So I think, yeah, it's incredible for young girls to now be able to look up and see these roles that are available to them if they want to go down that pathway.
Probably post France 2019 World Cup, I think that's where we've probably seen the biggest, I guess, peak in terms of the interest from commercial partners.
Hello Alberto, thank you so much for joining us. I'm wondering, just what was the moment that you saw the interest in women's football change?
We were watching carefully the recent 2019 World Cup in France. Spectacular football, level of popularity is just going up. Broadcasting rights fees are going up. Sponsors want to put money to work, and teams like Man City and others are really putting great investments and paying much more attention to female football.
The media were covering it, and it got massive visibility. The football was actually great. The teams were doing really well. Some of the players are now becoming known players and becoming ambassadors of the game. So there are more commercial sponsors and brands that are interested into the game, right, and are investing in it as serious sponsors.
I think we've been so fortunate with the partners that we have who are invested, not just from a financial point of view, but invested in helping develop and drive forward the women's game.
Sports is a passion point for City. And at City, we have an opportunity to give back to an industry from which we gain so much. We have been so incredibly proud to support the See Her in Sports movement for the past few years, and now are so excited to leverage our scale to support Manchester City.
The players are wonderful females, and we're looking at that widespreading movement of female football that I think is clearly a trend.
If I think about the next 5 years, it's about where our focus is. We're on the precipice of a new broadcasting cycle that will start next season. The Champions League format will change, which will elevate the game. I see a lot of change again happening in those time periods.
And if we look at the path for the next 4 to 5 years, we definitely see an even brighter future. We see more talent coming in. We see more sponsors being interested. We see the audiences growing across all platforms, whether it's social media, whether it's TV platforms. We see international broadcasters now interested in the Women's Super League, right? So it's just a development that needs to happen for the game to be more sustainable. But as I said, this development is happening very fast.
Ultimately, we need to try and fill this stadium every single week.
I want to sell this stadium out on a regular basis. I want us to win a Champions League ultimately. I want us to win another league because we've only won that once, and even though we've won 7 trophies, the league is something that is our bread and butter, and that tells the sign of a real good team. It's about a movement, it's about everything together, and that equitable stake, if you like, I think is high on people's agenda, and the values within organisations around creating those opportunities for all. The women's game matches perfectly with that, as it does with us as a club.
It's just crazy to think of what heights it can continue to achieve.
Look, I was just a little girl sat here. I was you sitting there, and one day you can be me talking to the youngsters.
Just follow your dreams. If you want to be a professional footballer, follow that. If you want to be a coach, follow that, and just enjoy and pursue whatever you're passionate about.
Believe in yourself, have the confidence to express yourself. As a young player, you've just got to be confident in your own ability. Just show people what you're made of, and just trust yourself and trust what you're doing is right, and you can go on to achieve anything you want to.
In this day and age, and the way that we have developed this game over a long period of time, and because of what it's worth and what women really deserve to have as an opportunity to be whatever they want to be, and now they've got a chance to be a professional footballer if they pursue that as a career.